ahead and start. I'll hold the book up, but I think it will be reversed for you. I'm not sure. Um, it's called Watching the Road. It's probably reversed, right? Watching the Road, Praying Your Prodigal Home by Karen Wheaton. And in case you don't have a prodigal, don't tune me out because this book is incredible. This woman's journey of praying her daughter home is just so inspirational. It is so encouraging. It's filled with strategies to pray for, to hold on to your promise. It is not just for if you have a prodigal. Good morning, Martha. Talking about this book right here, Watching the Road, Praying Your Prodigal Home. And I was saying it is absolutely not just for people who have prodigals. It is a book about holding on to the promises that God has given you and not letting go until you see them come to pass. And I got this book probably about 12:30 in the afternoon, and I was done with it probably by 6:30. Now, granted, I had the luxury of sitting there reading nonstop for all of those hours. It's a very easy read. Maybe you won't do it in an afternoon, but it's an easy read, and it is just so encouraging. And I was crying through it. I was laughing through it. There were so many points that I related to, but above all, I was so inspired to persevere in praying for those things that we're believing for. Like I said, it is not just for people with prodigals. It is for everybody. The strategies that she lays out in here, it's not like a how-to book. At the very end, she kind of gives you some weapons, and she kind of broke them down. Let me see if I can find them. The weapon of fasting, the weapon of prayer, let me see, the weapon of the word, the weapon of believing, and the weapon of obedience, and the weapon of watching. And that's like the last 10 pages or so. It is not, hi Alicia, it is not a how-to book. It is one woman's story of how she clung to faith, believing for her daughter to come home. But I believe it's for all of us. It's for those of us who have prodigals. It's for those of us who are believing for our marriage. It's for those of us who are believing for our health. Whatever you are believing God for, this book, if it doesn't blow your mind, I'd almost give you your money back, but I'm not selling it. It's just that good. It is just that good. So I just wanted to throw it out there. Like I said, I've read a lot of books, and there's a lot of books I could do a review. And have you read the book, Alicia? It is so good. Yeah. Hi, Vicki. Yes. Okay. It's just, wouldn't you agree, Cindy and Alicia, wouldn't you agree that this book is not just for people who have prodigals, that it is for anybody believing for any promise? This Karen's heart, I just love her heart. She is just a Southern Pentecostal girl, and she is just a hoot. Yeah, Cindy, and here she talks about when she prayed and was believing, and things actually got worse before they got better. Like, this is a real life story. This is like the real deal, not like here's 10 steps on how to pray for your prodigal or to get your promise. There you go, do it. It's raw and it's real, and she really shares her heart, and she shares how God is just so present with us and how he continually carried her and spoke to her throughout. Everything didn't turn around overnight. You know, sometimes we read these books and they're like, oh, just pray, fast, and confess scripture and everything will be fine. You won't get that in this book. You will get one woman's gritty tale of holding on to God's promises for her daughter in the fight for her family. Yeah, so Alicia's saying, read it. It is not just for prodigals. It is for everybody. I just bought it from her website. I think I know it's on Amazon too. TheRamp.com is her ministry. Yeah, I could relate to her in a lot of ways. And like I said, she really shared the raw emotions of what it's like holding on in faith and believing for your promises. So I really can't recommend this enough. I don't know if it does any good to hold it up because I think it's backwards. Yeah, Cindy said, amazing ways that God kept reaffirming his promises to her. It was just, and yeah, I won't say that. it's just so good. She tells over and over again how God would give her a word and then somebody would confirm it. She'd get a phone call, a text, or her daughter read something in a book, and I can attest, I have experienced how God does that in my own life, and it is just so beautiful. It doesn't make everything easy. It doesn't make everything go away overnight, but the nearness of our God is just so amazing, and you'll get a lot of that in this book. And I believe her daughter wrote. I know her daughter wrote a book too, from her perspective. So I just wanted to encourage you, watching the road, praying your prodigal home, or believing for your miracle. She encourages you to hold on, not let go. I think I shared a video of hers on She Looketh Well too. In a situation that looks so hopeless, there is hope. And those God winks, absolutely. Cindy, I found so much hope in her story. Hope for my own prodigals to come home. Yeah, I did too. I don't know that I have any out and out prodigals, but there are things, huge things that we're believing for. And so whatever your miracle is, this will inspire you. It definitely will inspire you. I was going to say something. I got distracted. Just her tenacity was just so inspiring, in her crying out to God. Oh, I know what I was going to share. I watched a video of her and her daughter. I don't think I'm going to, her daughter came home. So I'm going to tell you that right off the bat. Her daughter came home, and has been fully restored. But I watched a video of her daughter and her mom, Karen, and her daughter talking about the Thanksgiving before she came home, and the daughter, and they had her mom's journal, original journal, and they were looking at it, and what Lindsay had noticed, that was like December 5th, I think, Karen had written, this is the hardest day yet, she was really struggling, and then Lindsay pointed out that there was 5 pages between that and when her daughter came home, and just encouraging us that, you could be 5 pages in your journal away from your victory, your promise coming to pass, your miracle happening, just filled with hope. And yes, she, you can find her on Facebook. I just looked up Karen Wheaton, and she's got so many encouraging videos. She has such a heart, and what's so cool to me, because it's never just about us ladies, it's so much more. And there was a vision that God had given her, that when her daughter was walking out of this prison, she saw many young men and women walking out behind her, that her daughter's restoration was going to bring many out, and that's what's already happening. The testimony of her daughter getting free, and the restoration of their family and her marriage is bringing countless others out. And so we forget that. Sometimes we feel so alone in our struggles, and at least I know for me, I can get so single focused and think it's just about me, but there's so much more that our testimony brings when God does set us free. So yeah, I can't say enough. It's called Watching the Road, Praying Your Prodigal Home by Karen Wheaton. Super duper encouraging. I believe it's $15. That's more than I like to pay for a book, but I'm telling you, it is so worth it. So worth it. I'm still talking about it. I read it, I don't know, Tuesday, Monday, and I'm continually telling Brian about it. Cindy and I are going back and forth, remembering things about it. It's just super inspirational. Not a how-to, a real life story of believing God and hanging on and seeing full restoration, and not quitting, not stopping halfway through, not being okay with, well, we're mostly okay, but going all the way through until full restoration. So there you go. Watching the Road, Praying Your Prodigal Home. I highly encourage that you get it. And you know what? I'm going to do maybe more of these type videos. I don't know if you can see my bookshelf behind me. I love to read books. I love to listen to teachings. And so I'm thinking sometime I might do some videos of, 5 books from my shelf at a time type of thing, and just kind of share how it spoke to me and ministered to me. And then you could see if you want to buy it. So that's all I've got for you. Be praying for us tonight. I just really believe God's presence. The last worship night we had was amazing, and we're seeing such changes in our family, when you just sit in the presence of God. And so we are going to create a place and space for His presence tonight. and gather with other believers. So we're pretty excited about that. And then tomorrow I get to go see one of my favorite speakers all day, and the next day with my girls and my mom. So I'm excited about that. Believing God for big things. He's just amazing. He's just amazing, ladies. He's so, so faithful. So faithful. No matter what season you're in, cling to Him. Cling to Him. He will carry you, and He's faithful. You will see His goodness. I promise. I promise you will see His goodness. Okay? All right. Have a great day, ladies. I will probably not be back until next week, unless I pop on from the conference, which I doubt. Okay? So I'll see you next week. Love you, ladies, so much. Thanks for tuning in. And the book. Don't forget about the book. I don't get anything. There's no kickbacks for me. Not sponsored or anything. It just blessed my socks off this week. All right? All right. Talk to you later. Bye.